Have you ever heard about that theory that says that not only some Death Eaters, but the same Voldemort was more than one time afraid of Harry Potter's power? In fact, some Death Eaters thought that Harry would be one day the next Dark Lord. And being completely honest, I have no idea where I heard this, but I'm pretty sure I heard it somewhere. But even the same Lucius Malfoy thought about that and asked his own son Draco to get to know Harry in case he might be the next Dark Lord and gain his favor in advance of it. But let's start from the beginning. In the first moment the Death Eaters knew who had caused the Dark Lord's death, they feared his power. And some of them started to think that probably that little baby, having the power to defeat the greatest dark wizard of all time, might become one day the next one. How was it possible that no magic seen before from any wizard would explain that a little baby would not only to survive the worst curse in the world and kill the perpetrator in the process? Of course, we all know about that and how it happened, but imagine what was their reaction after hearing about that news. So it was after that many of them, being afraid of getting caught, started lying using the excuse of the Imperius curse to prove their innocence, and Lucius was one of them. Of course, we know that some of those Death Eaters remained loyal to Voldemort and accepted their fate by going to Azkaban, but not all of them. And when the little Draco Malfoy was old enough to attend Hogwarts, his father asked him to approach Potter in order to gain his favor in case that possibility was real. We don't see any reference of these either in the books or in the movies, but somehow everything makes sense when you think about it. In the moment Draco knew that Potter was on the same train, he went to find him. Of course, he didn't expect to find some poorly dishonored wizard like Ron Weasley in the same compartment, but what could have happened if Draco and Harry actually became friends? Well, that will be a story for another video. So, do you remember the first interaction between Voldemort and Harry in that cemetery, when their wands got connected due to their priority incantatem? The same Voldemort, full of power, revived from his worst enemy's blood, something that made him believe he would be even more powerful than before, was afraid of Harry Potter's power due to that same connection. And again, we all know how and why it happened, but it didn't. Actually, in the same book, we can read that when Voldemort saw this connection, expecting that his assassin's curse kill that boy, as he called him, not only didn't work, but also kept him from moving or doing any other spell, caused that for the first time, at least after Dumbledore, Voldemort feared someone else's power, and thought that maybe Harry was more powerful than him. And in case you don't remember, in the same book we can read that Voldemort actually used the Imperius curse against Harry too, to order him to vow. But in that case, we know that it was the part of the same Voldemort inside of Harry who resisted the curse, but Voldemort didn't know about that. So he actually truly believed on Harry Potter's power in that moment. And we can also read some similar case in the third book. When Barty Crouch Jr. is teaching the students to resist the Imperius curse, it was actually Harry the only one who was capable to do it. And again, it was the same part of Voldemort inside of Harry who did it, but not even Barty Crouch knew it. So in that case, even Barty Crouch started to believe in Harry Potter's power. And you might be wondering, okay, but when was the second time then? Well, it was actually more than two, but in that specific third time was a little different, but we'll get to that later. The second time Voldemort feared Harry Potter's power was actually in the second time their wands got connected, but this time making him believe in Harry's power even more because he was using another wand. And the same Harry was knocked out and acted without thinking, spelling got erased from his wand. Voldemort then, after seeing Lucius' wand getting destroyed by that spell, thought again that the boy might be more powerful than him. And desperate to find any reason, having already captured Ollivander and thinking that the wand wasn't the reason of that power, he was then feared of Harry Potter's power for the second time. And don't forget that the same Voldemort explained to the Death Eaters that there was a connection between his wand and the Harry's wand, something that would actually made the Death Eaters to believe in this Harry Potter's power, and that theory about him becoming the next Dark Lord. And actually, I'm not pretty sure if the Death Eaters knew about that, but Let's say that if they knew that Harry Potter could actually speak Parseltongue, would then make them truly to believe in this theory. And so, even if the third time Voldemort wasn't really feared of that power anymore, because he actually trusted his power over of Harry's, he again didn't really knew what happened. After seeing his enemy standing and threatening him after thinking he was dead due to the assassin curse he used against him in the Forbidden Forest. And not only that, he also used Cruciato's curse to prove he was dead, getting convinced after that. Voldemort was then more curious and cautious, expecting and listening to everything Harry was saying, while the same Harry was calling him dumb. Just think about that. One of his more loyal Death Eaters, Bellatrix Lestrange, got killed by Molly Weasley in a very short but great battle, and now his worst enemy returned from the dead that he convincingly believed and is standing in front of him surrounded by a lot of allies. Voldemort got scared and, expecting for the worst, he trusted one more time in the most effective course to finally work against his enemy, and causing by that his own death. So, there are some reasons that we can take into account to believe in this theory. But for now, I would like to know your opinion in the comment section, in case you have any other detail you didn't notice. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. I'm the Dark Agent, and I'll see you again.